Eclectic Vibes. We reunite. We assemble.
Yes.
We Voltron. How's it going? I'm your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent, and I'm allow my special guests to introduce themselves. Ladies first, of
It's
course.
Leatrice, also known as Eljeepi. So happy to be talking about music and not like makeup and fun girl stuff. But this is definitely an honor to be here.
I don't know how I'm looking on the screen. I might need a little touch up. I don't know, but take it away, my man.
What's going on? This is Jordan, also known as Jordan. I got nothing for that. I am, as Leatrice said, very honored to be on this. It's a long time coming. I've been watching your stuff for a minute, man. So it's a pleasure to be back with the squad.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And if you want to shout out your platforms, feel free to do so.
I'm Eljeepi on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I do makeup, wig reviews, products, all sort of beauty glamour stuff like that. And I'm a local makeup artist in Chicago.
For all you sports heads, you can check me out. I have now started a channel on YouTube called the ATS Report, short for all things sports. And it is just kind of catered to everything trending in the sports world, not just Chicago based, but I talk about anything: tennis, baseball, track and field, everything and anything sports related. You can catch me on there on the ATS Report. So subscribe and support your boy on his way up.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Big hand for both of you all for their platforms. And again, all the details, all the links will be in the description box. Click them links. Don't just look and then keep doing what you're doing. Click those links and check out.
Oh, I'm hitting the mic.
Check out our people. Check out Eclectic Vibes. We're doing big things. Today we're going to be reviewing the new Jungle album. Their fourth studio album, and it's called Volcano. And this one took me by surprise. I didn't even see any promotion for this album at all. It just popped up out of nowhere. Unlike their previous album, they had videos galore for it. This one, it was kind of like,
Oh, what do I have here? Let's go. What are you doing?
So, just want to introduce the album a little bit, give it a little details before we chop right into it. This is the fourth studio album by the band, and it was released on August 11th, 2023. The preceding singles from the album is Candle Flame, Dominoes, I've Been in Love, and Back on 74. And the album includes collaborations from Eric, the Architect, Channel Trez, Bruce Manuva, Mood Talk, and Bass. And also there's a particular artist that has been singing a lot of the vocals on this project as well. At first, I thought it was Cleo Soul for a minute. But it's actually an artist by the name of Lydia Keto. Lead producers from Jungle, Josh Lloyd, he mentioned that this is their most honest record. This album focused more on soul music. They wanted to bring that back to the category. And so that's what they did. He said, now getting to this place where it sounds freer or off the cuff than it's ever done, the energy, we just wanted to come out with a quick, explosive album. So we're going to get right into our discussion of the album. Now, first, how were you both introduced to Jungle? Let's hand it off to the ladies first.
I think I've been listening to Jungle since 2018, I think. I'm trying to remember, how did I come across? When I was still working nights and it would be kind of slow, I would always be, listening to music and stuff like that. And I think it came to me that way, the same way like Total Emo, just in the middle of the night, just looking around. And yeah, what is the album?
It's Forever. Because I know it's 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it's Forever. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, it was no skips, just front to back. And I was on them like crazy in the fact that they were so theatrical. I also saw that KEXP live, the Seattle one, on that one. They did such a great job on that performance. I was just like, I'm fully invested. I'm fully into this. So since that album, 2018, I was glued to them. Yeah.
My thoughts are the same as Leatrice. I stumbled onto it. I think I was either listening to music too on YouTube, and I don't know if the algorithm just picked up that I was eclectic or that I like certain music, kind of like in the ballpark of jungle. So I stumbled onto them from their first album, actually in 2014, when it was just straight titled Jungle, and the first first song and video together that I heard was Busy Earning. And so that kind of grabbed my eye because I just love the choreography of the dancers and everybody that they used. They were in harmony, and the song caught me. Then there was Time on the album. That was a really dope video because I believe everybody was like going in reverse, but they made it look like they were dancing going forward, if that makes sense. So that was well done.
Far Side's drop video where everything was going in reverse, but they were really.
It was like It was like it was a little weird, but it caught my attention. And then Heat, there was a video with two of these, like I believe, like I don't know their background, they're called their nationality, but they were like two black men that were like champion skaters that were in the video, and that caught my. So I say all that to say, like, it grabbed my attention from the start, just the choreography and just the creativity in the videos, and then finding out that these dudes weren't even like showcasing themselves in the video, like they were giving the spotlight to all these other just awesome artists and dancers, and singers. So that really took it to another level for me.
That's what's up. My introduction to them was Platoon, with the little kid dancing. Shout out to Pick, the instrumentalist. He was the one that put me up on that video. He's like, man, you heard this group named Jungle? I was like, nah, man, I ain't heard Jungle. And he showed me that video to Platoon with the little kid, like, just killing it. I mean, she was, I don't know if it was a girl or boy, but she had a lot of hair. Break dancing and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, what is this? And then I bought the first Jungle album, their self-titled debut, and I was hooked. I was hooked. They had me, and I've been a fan ever since. Their videos are amazing. I like what you said, JC, about how they don't really put themselves in the forefront, so it's kind of hard to put a face on them. I think if you saw them in the street, you'll walk right past them and don't even know who they are. Don't even realize the Jungle. So that's what I appreciate about them. They're not all about, being all up in your videos, like Suge Knight once famously.
They don't diddy-fy
it. Yeah. Like, you can't even listen to a lot of the songs on here without even, you gotta go on YouTube and type, did they make a video for this? So it's pretty dope how they've done, how they progressed with their music over the years. Real quick, going into my next question here, what are some of your favorite tracks off the album?
There are a lot of good tracks. I feel like the second half of the album really goes in, and I connect really, really deep with the latter half of the album. But of course, like a few tracks, Dominoes is, really good. It's really, upbeat. I love Problems. That was like the first single, because they had dropped a few singles before this, before they released the album, and I had that on. Like, I make playlists. That was just on every playlist, just even like a workout playlist. Like, I still want to hear this no matter what I'm doing. It was, it's so well layered. I feel like that song is just like, I love a song that has like good transitioning and things just kind of flourish together. So Problems is probably one of my favorite. And then, Back on 74, that is just, it tickles my brain. I love it. And I'm very particular when it comes to some songs that I hear, like through the first verse, and I'm in expectation of, what is it? Are you going to take me here? And when you do take me there to that place, it's like, yay, we're in harmony together. So that one, aside from the video, which I know you want to talk about probably the video later, but it was just everything hitting the retro style of it, the smoothness of Back on 74. It was just, and the vocals, of course, is just very, very playful. And those are just my top three. And I had a couple other ones, but yeah, definitely those are my top three favorite ones.
Well, we're gonna get into our top five tracks towards the end. So hold on to those last two.
Okay.
So, but real quick question: as far as the Back on 74 video, I just want to get my videos right because I got so many. That's the one where the girls start off, right?
Yeah. So
the three girls.
Right. It was three girls. They have like an announcer, that says, go. And the fact that they, is shot one shot. So they go from one person to the next person to this person over here. It's not multi-camera. It's just and it's the three girls. They start out work. Yes, that's the one.
That's one of the best songs of the year in my opinion. But go ahead, JC.
Hey, I'm with you all on that. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm very biased to jungle anyway, so there's not a lot jungle can't do that just doesn't please me. But if we're talking in particular, then yeah, Candle Flame. I feel like those tracks back to back that had the videos come out with it, Candle Flame, the Dominoes, I've Been in Love, and then of course Back to on 74 were just amazing. And I don't know if it's just me, but when I see the music video for it, I think for me, it just makes the song even better because then you see all of the time and effort that they put into the choreography and the environment and again, I just cannot, it's an understatement how awesome these dancers are and how they dance together. So yeah, just amazing. Those four, and then the way the album ended with bass on Pretty Little Thing, I thought that was epic because that was like the ending of Problems, and so they used the same song for that or same tune for that. There was really not a whole lot that I didn't like about the album, but I would say those were my favorites.
If you had to choose a least favorite track, what would it be?
And I love Jungle. So they can't really do any wrong. But if I had to really be like nitpicking, I would say that Don't Play and also Every Night. So Don't Play and Every Night, I think are back to back on the album. They kind of have the same type of repetitive vocals and repetitive like tune all throughout the song. So if you're the type of person that just does not like to hear the same thing over and over through the song, you want to hear maybe a different lyric or a different person come in at the end or whatever, maybe those two are not for you. But again, I'm nitpicking because they still have a good vibe.
Nice. What about you, Leatrice?
Holding On I like it. I'm trying to remember. It's Candle Flame. Candle Flame. I think that's the one where it's like some rapping on there too. It's a little disjointed. I feel it's like
you're talking about I've Been in Love, actually.
Oh, I've Been in Love. Is that
verse?
Candle Flame has a few lines too. Eric the Architect is on Candle Flame.
Right, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I like Been in Love, but I think Candle Flame was the one I wasn't digging that much because it kind of starts like, okay, this might be dope, and then like, I do still enjoy like, a bit of hip hop flair into anything, but that felt a little disjointed. Like it kind of took me out of the song, and then
it fell forth.
Right. So I wasn't feeling that, but I'm trying to see, I don't think anything else.
So can I debate Candle Flame for a second? because
Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. So again, going back to view,
Hear
because
enough
I
of you
know
on
what you
this
mean,
show.
Leatrice. That did kind of like throw it off a little bit. If you know anything about the Jungle series throughout their albums, especially starting, I think, from the second album now to here, the main dancers, his name is Will West. He's a beast dancer, and Met Lenturi. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, you can kind of see through different videos, even from the past, like in Heavy California and Casio, that they were the love interest or they were starting to like each other. So it tells a story while the album is being made. And so in Candle Flame, it almost looks like there's like this rift between them because you see them sitting with other people at this long, large table, and they're not into each other anymore. And there's like all these people around the table gossiping and like, oh, do you see what's going on? And then they go into the choreography. But I do understand what Leatrice is saying about how that Eric the Architect's part could kind of like throw off the vibe a little bit.
I love that story arc with them because I've been following since that Heavy California and that Castillo song, which I absolutely love so much.
Yeah.
My first of all, I didn't even mention my favorite tracks. So I'm so ready. I'm quick to go negative here. Dominoes, of course. Like Dominoes is just that vocal layer. This girl, I'm gonna have to do a dive on her. She's got some nice vocals, man. I like how they distort her voice in a lot of these songs. Back in '74 again. That's the highlight right there. And Us Against the World. I love you know me, when it comes to albums, one of the biggest things I'm a big critic on is how you start that album. If you don't start that album explosive or giving me something to be like, stop me in my tracks, we gonna have a hard time. You know?
It's a problem.
And man, Us Against the World just explodes out the screen like right away. And I was like, okay, Jungle, okay, y'all changing it up on this one. Let's go. Let's get into it. So I love the way they started off the album. Again, Lydia Keto just really brings each of these tracks to life. I got something that I want to throw in, a song that I want to throw in. You mentioned it earlier, JC, but I really love this track. Don't Play. You know why I love this track? Featuring Mood Talk. It gives me Daft Punk vibes. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You know how they mess with the EQ a little bit, certain pockets of the song. I played that like 5 straight times on repeat. I just really enjoyed that, especially if you're driving. I'm all about
you go.
That bump in the whip stuff. So
there you go.
How I got through the pandemic.
I think we all in the same place.
Playlist on Lakeshore Drive. Yes.
Don't get me wrong, Rod. Just because I said it was a least favorite does not mean that I wouldn't do the same thing. Because I personally, I would probably vibe this. I'm just saying that it was a repetitive like sound, but
yeah,
I can still get with it.
Yeah, I think for the people that's listening, you have a variety of listeners that listen to this show. So people look for certain things. Everybody looks for different features in the song, lyrics. Some people like instrumentals, some people don't. You know, all that other stuff. So I understand where you're coming from. I'm gonna have to go with "You Ain't No Celebrity." I have an issue with this song, and the reason why I have an issue with this song is because I am not like the way they did my boy Roots Maneuver. They just, how come they ain't let my man spit a verse? Speaking of repeating the same thing. What? This is how you gonna waste my boy Root? My boy Rodney? Yes, that's his name.
Fellow Rodney.
Fellow Rodney, man. Just kick him to the curb. Just give him
booyaka.
Booyaka. If you're a fan of Roots Maneuver like myself, been a fan of him since the early 2000s. Like, I'm not just I heard him on the Jungle album, I'm starting to listen. No, this dude is dope with the pen and pad. Y'all gonna let this man spit? That's just my little gripe. Other than that, This album is phenomenal. This album is phenomenal. Honorable mentions I'm gonna throw in. I do agree with Leatrice on Problems. That song, oof, yes, Problems is really, really good. I didn't like Every Night either. I thought Every Night was kind of like there. Good at Breaking Hearts is good. Pretty Little Things. I like the way they wrapped up the album. So it was really good. But let's get to let's name our top five, because I'm over here rambling off songs. What is your top five songs from the album?
Top five songs for me: Dominoes, Problems, Holding On. I'm having a hard time. I've Been in Love. I thought that was nice. And Back on 74.
Yeah, so in no particular order, we got pretty much kind of the same. Dominoes, Back on 74, Candle Flame for me, Problems, and then, oh boy, I'm debating between Pretty Little Thing and Good at Breaking Hearts, because I really love the way Junior or J.N.R. Williams did his thing. But I'm gonna go with my boy Bass. I'm gonna go with Pretty Little Thing. So that rounds up my top five.
Speaking of bass, man, it's 2 in a row for him. He killed it on the last album from Jungle. So yeah, I mean, he's got a good chemistry with him. I'll be remiss before I get into my top five. I'll be remiss if I miss this point, because this is another thing that stood out to me about this particular album. This album reminded me of a Salt project.
Yep.
It reminded me of Salt.
Yes.
Just the, you kind of got to do research to see now. Unlike Salt, they tell you who's featuring on the album. Salt, they just leave everything to you just doing massive research and figuring out who's doing what. But this album sounds similar to, like, I think it was 5 or 7. It kind of sounds similar to those two projects, 5 and 7. And without the political side of things that they covered with Rise and the other one, Strong.
Didn't that album come out last year? Like, has a red cover.
So Rise and Strong came out first. Then they came out with the 5 albums last year. They was like, oh, you can download this link and you'll get all 5 albums, because it's not going to be on streaming. And then later on that year, they put it on streaming. Yeah, that type of ordeal. So, but yeah, Jungle just reminds me of Salt. This album, this particular album, not their previous ones, but this one in particular. My favorite tracks, my top 5: Us Against the World, Dominoes, Back in 74, Don't Play, and I'm gonna go with Candle Flame.
The fact that we all have like different ones in our top 5 just shows how diverse and awesome this album is.
Yes, exactly. It's something for everybody.
It is. So since all that is said, we can't go without rating this album. So I'm gonna start with JC. What rating from a scale of 1 to 10 do you give Jungle, Volcano?
Okay, well, Volcano for me is a solid 8.5. And if I had to choose between the two, I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
I kind of want to go by like how it compares to like their other albums, and I'm also leaning because that It's Forever album is my favorite. This one is hitting, but not quite as hard as that one. Not as hard as that one did. So, but like super A- for effort for sure. So I would say also 8.5 with that. It's a fantastic album. Is it their best? No, but it's great. It's really great. That just shows how great they are.
I agree. I'm gonna have to go 8.5 as well. I think this is their second best album, hands down. I think this is their second best album. I was in disbelief too. I was like, wait a minute, am I being a prisoner of the moment here? Because I didn't feel the same way with their last project. I felt like, it took me a few listens for the last project to really hit. This one, it just hit me right away, and I was getting worried because I'm like, man, what if it just fade out? Here I am 2 weeks later, I'm still bumping this album. It's still in my on repeat list, a lot of the songs on here. So yeah, I gotta go 8.5 on this one, man. Jungle outdid themselves on this one. Jungle, if y'all listening to this episode, hopefully you guys are. Keep up the good work. Thumbs up for us. For all
Yes.
Eclectic vibes. Thumbs up. And I know Jeff's probably watching. Jeff, we gonna get you on the episode. Don't worry.
Everybody
We're
here.
gonna try to hunt all of us down, but it's all good. Before I let you guys go, or let you both go, I just want to ask you guys, any sleeper albums, whether it's old, whether it's new, that you would like for the fans to take a look at or take a listen, and maybe add some songs to their playlist.
I want to give you a shout out, Rod, for putting me on to Special Chef. Oh man,
Surprise Chef.
oh Surprise
Yes.
Chef! Oh my gosh, I've been calling him Special Chef. It's new to me.
It's all good.
It's new to me.
Yeah, they still do.
Special Chef. I had heard your last review, and then they had like an EP that came out this year, which was really good. But then I kind of went through their catalog of stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like it was giving me Nacho Libre, like that,
yeah.
like accordion music type, like but still it's all instrumental. Oh my gosh, there was this one song, I think it's Ferrari.
Yes,
I had to send
like
that
Ferrari.
to my cousin Joel, and I was like, listen to this. He was just like, stop waking me up in the morning. And then he was just like, oh no, this is dope. This is super dope. But yeah, the EP is good. The EP is really good, but like going through their whole catalog, you're gonna stumble through quite a bit, because I was trying to add on to a playlist that I called Unknown Mortal Orchestra, because that album came out this year too, really good. But I wanted to create a playlist that could complement that album, and I feel like on the instrumental side, Special Chef is surprise. Is it surprise? Am I messing it up again?
No, it's all good. They're special. They are special.
They are special. Surprise Chef.
Y'all heard it ain't just me. This is good stuff. Y'all need to try it. Yes, Rosemary Hemp Hill. Oh my gosh.
Well, since Leatrice shouted you out, I'm going to shout out Leatrice, because she's literally one of the reasons why, even though I grew up around an eclectic family that put me on to a lot of different genres of music, Leatrice kind of like stirred the pot a little bit more for me. So I'm going to give a shout out to Toro y Moi. I just listened to his album, or not his album, his song, what is it called? Sandhills. He's like going like a country route right now, and that just came out. It's called Sandhills. So Chaz is trying to do something different. That's just the song. But if you've never even heard of Toro y Moi, or however you say his name right, a couple albums back, not Mahal, but
Boo Boo, the album Boo Boo
was some of my favorite as well. And laugh at the laugh at the name of the album, but still, it was amazing. I love Mona Lisa off that album, and then also too Tame Impala. I think Leatrice put me on to Tame Impala as well. His album Slow Rush, I could listen to that all the way through. Slow Rush. So if you don't know about those two albums, man, check those out.
Current, my favorite person.
Currents is so
Okay.
good.
I'm with that too.
Do you think they're gonna come out with a Tame Impala Thundercat?
They've been teasing that.
Yeah.
That would be too much for the world.
They dropped a song. They dropped a single earlier this year,
Mhm.
Oh,
and
man.
it was amazing. But that's it. I'm like, are we gonna get that? Like, we need that. Hey,
All you gotta do is drop the album. Drop it today. Drop it today. Drop it today.
little tease.
See, they gonna do that like at the end. You know, when we're all trying to get our top 10 albums at the end of the year, they gonna do that December 28th. and be like, boom. And then everything else is out the window and they
Right.
automatically go to
Yep.
the number one spot.
There you go.
Yep. And unfortunately, one of your albums that you've been bumping all year got to get knocked off the top 10 because of them. That's the sad part. So Tame and Polly, y'all better come out early.
There you go.
One thing I do know, Jungle's not getting kicked out of the top 10. And to bounce off Toro, one of my favorite Toro albums. This is what introduced me to him. Anything in Return. Oh my God. Anything in Return.
Yeah.
Classic. And you can even throw in Underneath the Pines too. Classics. Like Toro is a beast. That's good too. I really like that. It was that he went a more smooth electronic R&B route where it's kind of like it felt like an 80s R&B album from like the late 80s, like that I'll Be Sure. That was good. That was good. Thank you, Eclectic Vibes family, for dropping in to the cafe, the virtual cafe, to review the new Jungle Volcano album. Check it out if you haven't done so already. And once again, it's JC, Leatrice. I'm your musical barista, Rod the Magnificent. When it comes to coffee, when it comes to music, stay grounded for life. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.